Today, we're going to dive into paper that honestly caught my attention. Partly it's about a subject many people think they understand, but the analysis here, it to a much deeper level. The paper is called A Structural and Jurisdictional Analysis of Alcoholics Anonymous. So what's the core question here? Well, the paper's main concern to figure out what of system is Alcoholics Anonymous actually is just a helpful fellowship, or is it something prescriptive, more like a method, even, comprehensive authority? This is big, because if you've ever known someone in AA or read about it as a cultural phenomenon, you already have feelings or opinions whether works. That's not quite what sales is after. The here is about understanding the underlying structure and the source of AA's authority. Let me break down what author, again that's SC Sales, is doing. They're not trying to say if AA is right or wrong, or it works or not, but asking what kind of authority does AA actually claim, and what does that mean for people who are part of it. Now, Sales says that AA, at its heart, isn't just a support group. According to the main texts, like the famous Big, AA presents itself as a defined and unified method, a process with steps, a precise way of moving from problem to solution. The point isn't support one another and what. So here's what you do sequence for recovery. Almost like a recipe. The repeated language, words like precisely, how, recover, all signal that if you follow the 12 in order, should the desired outcome. And the evidence uses to back up its method is mostly basically people's stories, and then hopefully become one of those stories yourself. This cycle of testimony validates the method and kind of regenerates itself. So as you tell your story, you strengthen the AA system. But let's get into the question of authority. This is where it gets, maybe a little philosophical. The big insight, like the steps, the authority is all internal. The higher power is defined, God as understood. It's, individualized. The structure is prescriptive, but at the top level, the authority is variable. Your God might not be anyone else God, and the system doesn't really care. Sales argues that this system creates, he calls, structural capture, where, after a while, you come understand your past, your difficulties, your identity, and even your failures only via AA's language categories. That not inherently bad, it just means you're inhabiting a particular interpretive world, and it can be very hard to outside it. The thing the paper really emphasizes is that, yes, there's tremendous effectiveness here, real world, observable change, but, here's the kicker, there's a distinction between something that works and something has legitimate authority, demand, allegiance. The author feels that AA meets the conditions of functioning, like you, getting results, offering coherence, providing community, but doesn't quite meet the conditions for legitimate authority, like is justified in claiming you should submit to its process if the foundation is always shifting.